Two. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let's chant one round of Japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi, Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Today is the appearance day of Radha Kund and it is also Bahulashtami. So I thought I will read about Radha Kund. Yes, Saujanya Mataji.
Mataji, today daylight saving has started.
Oh, the timing has changed.
So for us it is still 5:57. Maybe that's why nobody joined, Mataji. Only
so
you and me are there. Yeah. I
We'll have
forgot
to change the
yesterday.
time, right? For me, I'll have to change the time.
Yes, that's what I was wondering. And then as I saw the phone, my Prabhu said, "No, it is still because today is daylight saving."
Acha, okay. So
Yeah.
that means from today onwards, your time is still 5:30 now.
Yes, Mataji. We are getting 1 hour extra.
Okay. So that means I should log in at my 5 o'clock then. I have half
What
an hour.
now? What time, Mataji, for you?
It's
6.
4:30, 4:28.
So 4, 5:30. No, no. What the
5.
other way
I,
around?
I
Five,
usually I
five.
start at 4, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
should start
Five,
at 5.
5. Yeah, yes.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't
No, no,
even.
Mataji. No need to tell sorry at all.
I was thinking it is Sunday, so maybe, you know, I
That's why
thought
everybody join. Yeah, even like we'll feel right like 1 hour is still there, and how come somewhat.
that's right. Because the clock also says 6:30 still. When I sent the reminder, it says 6:30, but it is only
Mm.
5:30 for you.
Ah, yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Priyanka Haripriya Mataji also
M-
joined. Okay.
Maybe
So,
I don't know if you want to put in the chat or it's up to you, Mataji.
yeah. So I'll just continue today because we started the live stream. I'll read
Mhm.
about Radha Kund. Yeah. What do you suggest? Should I log in later at
Uh,
5?
because others may join only later, Mataji. Because for us, when we see the time, then they may realize, I don't know. That's why I went into the group to see, let's see if Mataji started or not. And then I started.
Continue or start? Start again at 5:30.
Hmm?
But I'm live streaming it. There may be others who are already who have connected. I don't know.
It's
Okay, let's
only
start
me
it.
and it's only
Let's
me and Priyanka Mataji.
Yeah, and of course they're here. But let's do at 5 o'clock then. Should I log out and log in at 5? And I have chanted japa already. Sonia
Yeah.
Mataji also joined. Oh, now everyone is joining. So maybe we should just do it then.
Sure, Mataji, not a problem.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we were thinking nobody joined because daylight savings time has changed for you. Uh, but since you have all joined, I think we'll just continue today. From tomorrow onwards, your time will be the same, your new 6:30. I will have to change my time. Instead of 4, I will start at 5. Then I didn't realize that your time has changed today. So okay, so today is the appearance day of Radha Kund, and today is also Bahulashtami. I'm just going to read about that. Meanwhile, others may join. So this is Sri Radha Kunda Ashtakam by Srimad Raghunath Das Goswami. After the killing of Arishtasura, Srimati Radhika and her Sakhis exchanged many joking words with Sri Krishna. One second, just trying to adjust here. Yeah. Many joking words with Sri Krishna concerning the necessary atonement for one who has committed the offense of killing a bull. As a result, the Queen of Vrindavan, Srimati Radhika, and her Sakhis joyfully excavated and filled Sri Radhakund with their own hands. May that immensely fragrant Radhakund be my shelter. So we are reading Radhakund Ashtakam by Raghunath Das Goswami, the English translation. In the land of the hearts of those who bathe in Radhakund, in the land of the hearts of those who bathe in Radhakund, a desired tree of the superlative prema. So that means the heart is compared to a field, land. Okay. So in the heart, which is like a field, there sprouts a desired tree. Okay. A desired tree of the superlative prema, which is not attainable even for Krishna's principal queens in Dwaraka, will arise. So anyone who bathes in Radha Kund, what happens? In his heart is like a field in which the desire tree of the supreme prema will grow. So this is not possible even for the queens of Dwaraka. May that supremely charming Radha Kund be my shelter. For the pleasure of Srimati Radhika, even Sri Krishna himself, yearning to attain her merciful sidelong glance, regularly bathes in Radha Kund, carefully observing all the appropriate rituals. May that supremely enchanting Radha Kund be my shelter. May that supremely enchanting Radha Kund, which the moon of Vraja, Sri Krishna, loves as much as he loves the crown jewel amongst the sweet girls of Vraja, Srimati Radhika, and which he has made known by the name of Radhika herself, be my shelter. That means this Radha Kund is as dear to Krishna as Srimati Radharani. May that Radha Kund be my shelter. The mercy obtained by serving Radha Kund makes the desire creeper of prema for the prince of Vraja, that means love for Krishna, the desire tree of love for Krishna, sprout. So when you get mercy by serving Radha Kund, what happens? The desire tree or desire creeper for love of Krishna will sprout and is celebrated for bearing the flower of service to my Swamini Srimati Radhika. Who is writing this? Raghunath Das Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami is a Manjari. So he is saying to my Swamini, my mistress, Srimati Radhika. So the mercy obtained by serving Radha Kund makes this desire creeper grow in your heart. What is the desire creeper? Love for Krishna. And this creeper bears the flower of service to Srimati Radharani. So when you have this desire tree called love of Krishna in your heart, it will bear a fruit which will give you service to Srimati Radharani. And how do you get this? When you get the mercy of Radha Kund. May that supremely charming Radha Kund be my shelter. Gloriously manifest on the banks of Radha Kund are 8 kunjas. Kunjas are like small forests. So there are all, like gardens. So on the bank of Radha Kund are 8 kunjas named after Radhika's principal Sakhis, acting as stimuli for the amorous pastimes of the divine couple. These kunjas are filled with the sweet humming of bumblebees and are desired by everyone. Okay? These kunjas are filled with the humming of bumblebees, humming of bumblebees, and they are desired by everyone. May that supremely enchanting Radha Kund be the shelter of my life. Situated on an exquisite dais on the bank of Radha Kund and accompanied by her beloved Sakhis, our Swamini Srimati Radhika charmingly engages in sweet joking words with Sri Krishna, the moon of Vraja. These playful verbal exchanges are enhanced by the suggestion of so many innuendos. May that Radha Kund be the shelter of my life. May that very charming and especially fragrant Radha Kund, where intoxicated with love, the divine couple and the Sakhis daily sport with great joy in the water so fragrant with exquisite lotus flowers, be the sole shelter of my life. To that devotee who, in a resolute mood of aspiring to serve Srimati Radhika, reads this charming prayer describing Sri Radhakund, even in their present body, Sri Krishna will quickly grant them darshan of not only his beloved Radhika, but also of their many variegated amorous pastimes. Witnessing these pastimes and envisioning himself serving Yugal Kishore in various ways, such a devotee will feel immense jubilation. This Ashtaka is recited in the poetic meter known as Malini. Okay, so this is the Radha Kund Ashtaka written by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Where am I reading this from? So we have a Vaishnav calendar. So on that you get the dates, and when you click on the date, there is information related to that date. So yeah, it's called Vaishnav calendar. Also today is Bahulashtami, and I'll read about Bahulashtami. On the 8th day of the waning phase of the Damodar month, the appearance day of Radha Kund is celebrated by the residents. Bathing in Radha Kund is especially beneficial on this day. By this one gains the favor of Radha, by which one gains the favor of Krishna. Radha Kund appeared at midnight. People go to Radha Kund and offer prasadam, garlands and pumpkins into the water. Then at midnight, take bath in Radha Kund and then bathe in Shamakund. Many people like to bathe at a ghat where Lord Nityananda's Shakti, Janava Mata, used to bathe. But wherever you go, you better get there early, as thousands of people or devotees will be there. And bring some warm clothing for afterwards, as it is so cooling. The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha. So Srila Rupa Goswami writes this in Nectar of Instruction. So the holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathura Puri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan because of Krishna's Ras Leela pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, for it was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna and was the site of his various loving pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Sri Radha Kund stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the love of the Lord of Gokula, Sri Krishna. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radha Kund, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill? Sri Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Instruction, Upadesh Amritam, that's the reference. The origin of Radha Kund. After killing a bull demon named Arishtasura, Krishna approached Radharani to engage in loving affairs. However, she rebuked him, stating he was impure because of committing the sin of killing a bull, the symbol of religion. She suggested that to counteract this sin, he should bathe in all the sacred rivers. Krishna, being eager to engage in loving affairs with Srimati Radharani, immediately shoved his lotus foot into the ground, making a large hole, and called all the sacred rivers to enter into it. They appeared before him and formed Shyamakund, the bathing place of Shyam, one who is the color of a dark rain cloud. After bathing, Krishna stated that he had become pure by bathing in Shyamakund, but that the gopis had become impure, having sided with a demon, even though he appeared in the form of a bull. Radharani, along with some of her gopi friends, broke their bangles and dug a hole with the broken pieces. But there was no water, so Krishna laughed. The gopis then formed a line to the Manasi Ganga and started to fill the hole with water. What did they do? So they were carrying water. They formed a line, all the gopis formed a line to Manasi Ganga, and they were filling pots and passing on. and started to fill the hole with water that was passed from one gopi to another. At that time, all the sacred rivers again arrived in person and requested permission to enter into Radharani's kund, which they did after receiving Radharani's blessing. So that kund is Radha Kund. Of course, because today is a special day, it is the appearance day of Radha Kund. We are reading about it. Generally, for our level, we should stick to, we should act according to our level, right? We can hear once in a while like this when there is an occasion, but our general meditation is because, like the other day I was telling you, we are all sleeping in the deep ignorance of Maya. First we have to wake up. First we are in a sleeping state. So when we are in a sleeping state, first we have to wake up. And then when you wake up, you can enjoy so many things. You can relish the tastes of different things and all that. Otherwise, if you're sleeping, someone can be playing beautiful music, someone can be serving you nice, delicious foodstuffs. Will you be able to enjoy anything? You're fast asleep. You won't be able to enjoy anything. So that is our condition. So even if we intellectually try to read or hear, pastimes of Krishna with the gopis, they'll go, we are not, because we are in deep ignorance right now. So we have to wake up first. This is what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says. And when one who has, one who is awake, for him, there is no need of books or anything. It's not required because he's always eagerly inspired from within. He's seeking. He's always seeking, and they are revealed within his heart. His pastimes will be revealed within his heart. Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. That means buddhi yoga means there, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Krishna reveals himself. So when we get a chance like this, once in a while we hear. But generally our endeavor, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada in the same line, you don't see them discussing, like this pastimes of Radha, Krishna and the gopis. Why? Because they are very high topics, very high topics. So they are meant for liberated souls. We should keep these topics very high on our head with great respect, right? And then when we come out of this ignorance, so we have to chant Hare Krishna. The same Hare Krishna we will be chanting, but as we become purified, as we make advancement in our Krishna consciousness, from the same Hare Krishna you will be actually experiencing so many other things that will be revealed, right? Atah Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriya. With our senses we won't be able to realize materially conditioned state. With our material senses we won't be able to realize Krishna, his position, his pastimes. How we can realize? Then what is the way? Sevan mukhehi jihvadav. By loving service through our tongue. And tongue has twofold functions. One is vibrating, the other one is tasting. So by honoring Krishna Prasadam only, and by speaking only about Krishna, chanting his holy names. So in this way, Adi means and others also. Beginning with the tongue. When we engage in devotional service to Krishna, Swayameva Spuratyada. He himself will reveal about himself and his pastimes and his dham and his glories, his devotees. Everything will be revealed by him. So we will hear, but we don't really expect that now we will start realizing those things. So we don't spend too much time in trying to, figure out these things with our intellect. We won't be able to figure out, right? So with great respect, we hear and then we continue with our devotional service that has been assigned to us by the Acharya, by the spiritual master. Chant, preach, render devotional service, worship the Lord, bow down before the Lord, like that. Okay. Mataji, I was thinking you raised your hand from before. Did you want to say something, Saujanya Mataji?
I raised from before, I forgot to lower it.
Acha, okay, so I was right. So now let's continue with our daily reading. We are doing, let's read Srimad Bhagavad Gita verse. Yeah, just one note for all of you. Starting from today's your morning, right? So today evening, of course, it's your Sunday evening. So for us, it will be Monday morning in India. There is a course being taught on Bhagavad Gita, chapters 1 to 6, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentaries. Of course, there's a requirement. Anyone who has read Srila Prabhupada's purports, they are eligible to attend, because this is going to be only Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentaries. The timing is hour 3 in the morning, so that will be your 4:30, because now your daylight timing has changed, and the classes will be from Monday to Friday, 5 days a week, for 1.5 hours. So 4:30 to 6 o'clock every day the classes will be. So if you are able to attend, it will be nice. It's a 30-session class taught by His Grace Venugopal Prabhu. But I have attended this course before. Actually, I have attended twice, once in Telugu, once in Hindi. It will be very useful in connecting, right? I know all of you have done Bhakti Shastri, so uh, you will see the flow, how Bhagavad Gita. So it will be quite reinforcing. And then when we read Srila Prabhupada's purports again, you'll be able to connect the dots. So if you are able to attend, I would recommend it certainly. And if you are interested, I'll just send you the details how to register for the course. This course is designed especially for devotees who are in the West, because our timing is 3 in the morning. So I may not join because I'm doing other class at that time. I do Chaitanya Charitamrita class at my 3:45. So that class will go on from 3 to 4:30. So I may not be able to join in the morning. Even if I join, it will be partially. But if any of you is able to join, I thought I'll just give you that information. If you're interested, you just send me a message and I'll give the details. So let's read Bhagavad Gita Shloka. Bhagavad Gita is very, very important for us. That is the foundation. And the same, whatever philosophy we study in Bhagavad Gita, the same thing is again taught again in Srimad Bhagavatam. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll see the principles are laid out in Bhagavad Gita, and they are explained further in detail in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita is, if you study Bhagavad Gita nicely, thoroughly, you will have the philosophy, right? You'll be able to preach, and of course get convinced yourself and also preach. Okay, so we are reciting Bhagavad Gita Shloka, chapter 10, text 41. And I think after this, let me check. I was thinking this is the last memorization shloka for chapter 10. And tomorrow onwards, we'll be reciting chapter 11, I think. Let me check. Yeah, from here onwards, not too many shlokas in each chapter. Again, in 18th chapter, you'll have. But yeah, 10:42. Okay, so one more verse. Tomorrow, next week will be the last verse of chapter 10, and after that we'll go to chapter 11. You see, chapter 11 directly we are going to the 32nd verse, like that, and then 33rd, 54. That's all. 3 verses only in chapter 11. Chapter 12 we will have 1, 2, 5, but it's a short chapter, only 20 verses. 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14. That's all, 13, 14. So you have that many verses in chapter 12. And then chapter 13, 3, 8 to 12. Big one. 5, 6, 7. 7. So 7 weeks, chapter 13. And chapter 14, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 verses in 14. 15. Yeah, so yeah, 15 has Purushottam Yoga. There's quite a few verses. And then 16th chapter also has a few verses. The divine and demoniac natures. Yeah, there's several there. And then chapter 17, there's only one. Chapter 17, one. And chapter 18 will have. Yeah, there's several in chapter 18. It's a big chapter too. There are like 78 verses. So, yeah. Okay. So tomorrow, next week, we'll be learning 10:42. Today we will recite 10:41 again. Anyone needs to go first? Alright, so we'll just go in order. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 41. Isha. Isha, you're reciting? Your turn to recite.
यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमद्भुजितमेव वा तद्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंशसम्भवम्. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Krishna Shish.
यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमद्भुजितमेव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंशसम्भवम्. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Madhava.
यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमद्भुजितमेव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंशसम्भवम्. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Rasapriya.
यज्ञविभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमद्वर्जितमेव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंशसम्भवम्. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yadyat vibhutimаттvam Srimad Urjitam eva va tattad evavagachatvam mama tejam shashambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Narsimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu, Suvarnangi Mataji. Suraj Prati.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Vandas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमदूर्जितमेव वा तत्तत् एवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंशसम्भवम्. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful, glorious creations spring from but my spark of my splendor. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Krishna. Mataji, others are not here, Mataji.
Okay, no problem. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dharat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Yat yat vibhuti matsatvam Srimad Bhagavatam eva va tat tat eva avagatatam mama tejo amshasambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Saujanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Sadhguru Shri Srila Prabhupada, God bless to assemble devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Yat yat vibhutimat sattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va tat tat eva vagachatvam mama tejom sasambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Everyone is reciting. Bhagavad Gita 10:41. Yad yad vibhuti matsattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va tat tad evavagachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. So we will read Srimad Bhagavatam. It's almost 5 now here. That means it's your 6:30 now. So if anybody joins now, they won't miss Srimad Bhagavatam. Alright. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9, the dynasty of Amshuman. So we completed about Saudasa, we read, and about Saudasa's descendants we were reading. Saudasa had a son. Actually, Vashishta impregnated his wife Madayanti, and you know how, because the baby wouldn't come out even after 7 years of pregnancy, Vashishta Muni beat the abdomen with a stone and then the baby came out. Therefore, the baby was called Ashmaka. So Saudasa's son is Ashmaka and Ashmaka's son is Balika. So I actually looked up this morning, about Balika. There are 20 different definitions for Balika in Sanskrit. So Balika means, yes, Bala and Balika, like a girl, but also Balika has many other meanings, not just one meaning. So which one exactly is this Balika, what it means, that I don't know, but at least it has other meanings also, and as we had thought, right? So it has 20 different definitions. And also another thing, an interesting thing that I came across in my other classes that I attend, Sanskrit language, especially the language of Sanskrit that is used in the Vedas, even in other languages, like you take Hindi or Telugu, the bookish language is very high as compared to the spoken language, isn't it? It's different. It's not exactly the same. You don't speak the way you write, right? And what to speak of the big books, that's even higher. So similarly in Sanskrit, the Vedic statements that are there in the Vedas, the language that is used, the Sanskrit language that is used there, it's very high, and it's not easy to comprehend the meaning of those statements. It's not easy. It's very difficult. Okay? So in that context, it was explained, just take one sound, like in English you have the alphabet A, and if you study, they'll tell you A is a vowel and it has two sounds, isn't it? Short A and long A. A A, right? That's for A sound. Now, in let's take in Hindi or in other languages, you have A and A. So this A, akara, just A, has how many sounds in Sanskrit, do you know? So depending on from where you make that sound, so of course there is Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita, 3. Like depending on, I think once I had told this before, right? There's upper, middle and lower. Within the throat, you have upper, lower and middle. You can make that sound from top, from the middle or from low. We don't even have that training. We don't even know how to make that sound. But when a boy goes to Gurukul and he gets Upanayanam, and then the Guru teaches him the Vedas, first they are trained how to make these different sounds from different levels of the throat. And then further, each one of these is of 3 types again. There is like something like Hrasa, Dirgha and Pluta. Again, that each of these 3, like permutations and combinations, each of these 3 can be of 3 different, like upper, low, middle. In the upper also you have Rasa, Rasam, Dirgham and Kluptam. 3 different combinations are possible. Sounds of the letter A. And after, so now how many you have? 9 different sounds. Each of these 9 different sounds can be of 2. Nasika and Anunasika. No, Anunasika and Ananunasika. Something like that. Again, that has 2 varieties. So totally you have 18 different sounds for one letter A. For Akara, you have 18 different ways of saying A in Sanskrit. That's not finished. Of these 18 different sounds, each sound has a different meaning. Each of these 18 sounds of the letter A has a different meaning altogether. So therefore, when they chant Vedic mantras, the clear pronunciation is very important. One slight deviation of these 18 different ways of saying if you say it in a different way, the meaning changes altogether. And the result that you're expecting, you won't get that result, you'll get some other result. So, in other words, this Vedic language is very, very complex. It's very complex and very, very specific. Very specific. How meticulously one has to study and then derive the meaning. So why this was said? Tarka apratishta, tarka pratishtanam, apratishtanam, shrutayo vibhinna. That means tarka has no importance. Tarka means logic. If you want to understand truth, if you take shelter of independent logic, you cannot understand truth. It has no value. If you're trying to know the truth through logic, it's not going to help you. Then you may say, okay, then Shrutis, we will approach the Shruti, we will approach the Vedas, because it is established Shastra Pramana. Shastra is the highest authority. So you will say, I will go and refer to the Shruti and I'll get the truth, because that is the knowledge in the Shastras is ultimate. So let me just follow that. How will you find out where the Vedas are? I mean, talk practically now. How will you study Vedas? Do you have all the Vedas that are written by Vyasadeva? No. Vyasadeva originally gave the one Veda, he divided into 5 parts. 4, Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, and the 5th one, Panchama, is the Puranas. So he divided the Vedas into 5. And then he gave each one to one particular rishi and said, now you teach this, you transmit it in disciplic succession. Teach it to your disciples, they will teach to their disciples. So in the course of time, because, as Kali Yuga is progressing, what happens? The caliber of the student is decreasing. He cannot understand everything. Already Vyasadeva divided the one Veda into 5 for that reason. But further, so many branches were coming. And each student would only take one branch. He would study one branch and he would teach that to his students. Because it's not possible for one person to learn everything, retain everything. So many branches have come. Many branches have come from the Vedas. And as time passed by, in due course of time, right? Krishna tells Arjun that evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtah parantapa. Sakale neha mahata means in due course of time, simply by the influence of time, as time passes, this is the nature. As time passes, the knowledge disappears. Yogo nashtaha. So that's the nature. As time passes, you forget things. That's also, and it's lost. That knowledge becomes lost. Therefore, from time to time, the Lord either he comes or he sends his representative to revive it once again. Because by the influence of time, over a period of time, it gets lost. This is history, we all know, right? So many branches had come, but how much of that do we have available to us today? Hardly a small fraction of what Vyasadeva had given is available to us. And even when it is available to us, it is given in Sanskrit language. The Vedic language is very complex. In order for you to understand that, you should go through proper training and samskaras. Who is getting all that nowadays? How will you understand? Let's say even you got all that, still Shrutayo Vibhinna, there are different types of scriptures, right? In some scripture they say Lord Shiva is supreme, some other scripture they say Devi is supreme, some other scripture Purana says Lord Vishnu is supreme. How will you arrive at the conclusion which one is the right one? How will you arrive at the right conclusion? On what basis will you say this is better than the other? How can you say? They're all scriptures. So you'll be confused. Shrutayo Vibhinna. Many types of scriptures are there with different conclusions. How will you arrive at what is to be chosen? And there, the next line. So this statement, this shloka is from Mahabharata by Vyasadeva. Today only I was listening. Srila Prabhupada quotes this verse and says that dharmam hi tattvam guhyam. Okay. So the essence of dharma is very confidential. It's very confidential. You will not understand what is the right thing simply by studying scriptures. You won't understand. Then how do we arrive at what is to be done, what is the right thing? Mahajano yena gatasya pantha. That path which is followed by Mahajans, the great devotees of the Lord, if you follow in their footsteps, then success is guaranteed. But independently, if we try to find out what is the right thing to... Sorry, Mataji, Aditilata Mataji, I did not realize that you have daylights change today. Daylight savings time has changed for you. I didn't know. When I logged in at the regular time, and I was there by myself and I chanted japa. I thought it is Sunday morning, so maybe they'll come later. But then soon Saujanya Mataji joined and she said, Mataji, today is daylight savings time. So in the clocks and phones, the time will just show it's only 5:30. So maybe others will join at 6:30. So therefore what I did was, we read today's Bahulashtami and Radha Kund appearance day. I just read, about The Radha Kunda Ashtakam and Bahulashtami little bit we read. Then we recited the verses, and we didn't even start reading Bhagavatam. I'm just in the beginning, introduction. Okay.
Sorry, Mataji. I was thinking we discussed about this, and you said no, nothing changes for you. So I was thinking.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
No, nothing changes for you, but I didn't know that it was today. That's the thing. If you
Okay.
had
Yeah, but
sent me a message that it is tomorrow,
yeah.
I didn't, because for us there's no change here, so it doesn't show on my phone anything.
Yeah, I'm
My
sorry.
mistake. Sorry.
No problem. Mataji, if you can share whenever you can the Radha Kund and the whatever you discussed, the
Yes.
reading, then we can read in the evening or something.
I will see. It is there in the Vaishnav calendar.
No,
So
the Radha Kund, I mean the
it's there in
Ashtakam.
the Vaishnav calendar. So Radha Kund, when you go to the Vaishnav calendar, it says today is Radha Kund appearance day. When you click on that, all information related to Radha Kund comes there. It's called Vaishnav calendar. So I
Oh,
just read it from my phone. If I can take maybe like a screenshot or something and send, I will see.
okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Sure. So, so then how to find out what is the right thing to do? The way to find out is by following in the footsteps. Mahajano yena gatasya pantha. By logic, we will not come to the right conclusion. By studying the scriptures on our own, we won't come to the right conclusion. And the Vedic knowledge is so complex, you cannot understand. Besides, there are so many different scriptures. How will you read all the scriptures? We don't have that possibility. That is why the sages, the 6 questions that the sages at Naimisharanya asked, right? The first question, second question is about, please tell us in an easily understandable way, what is the essence of all the scriptures? By following this, one can be fully satisfied in the heart. What is that? Because we don't have the time, we cannot study all the scriptures. There are so many different types of scriptures. What is the conclusion of all the scriptures? You just give us the conclusion, like that they had asked. So therefore, let's go back. What were we reading? The son of uh, Ashmaka is Balika. That's why we were discussing all this. Balika has many meanings. That's why I was saying. So there's like 20 different definitions of Balika given. So on that, I started telling all this about how the Sanskrit language is very complex. So Balika, we came to Balika. What is the significance of Balika? Balika is the root. He's also called Mulaka. When Parashuram killed all the Kshatriyas on the planet Earth, Balika actually, he was surrounded by women, so he was spared. He was not killed by Parashuram. So then he became the progenitor of the next generation of Kshatriyas. Therefore, Balika is also called Mulaka. Now, Balika's son, let's go back and see.
And also this Kavacha, woman, what is that woman called?
Nari
Kavacha.
Kavacha. Yes. Yeah. So we actually saw even the descendants of Balika, Dasharath, but this is not the same Dasharath we saw. And then we came all the way to Khatwanga, King Khatwanga. We were discussing. So that's where we actually stopped. We were reading about Khatwanga. But I'll just quickly read the. Yeah, from Balika came a son named Dasharath. From Dasharath came a son named Idavidi. From Idavidi, Vishwasaha, and from Vishwasaha came the famous king Khatwanga. Then what about Khatwanga? King Khatwanga was unconquerable in any fight. Requested by the demigods to join them in fighting the demons, he won victory. And the demigods, being very pleased, wanted to give him a benediction. The king inquired from them about the duration of his life. So, what do you want? What benediction do you want? The king said, tell me, how long do I have to live in this life? And he was informed that he had only one more moment left in this body. So he immediately left his palace, went to his own residence, and there he engaged his mind fully on the lotus feet of the Lord. So once I think somebody had asked the question, if he had one moment in one moment how he went back and well, what does it say here? That he engaged his mind. How much time do you need to just think in your mind, right? So he went there also, great yogis, simply by their mental strength, they can just go to any place within a second. Like from here, Prabhupada says that even, and Prabhupada was saying, even now there are many yogis who go and take bath in all four dhams every morning. How they do that? They travel in their subtle body. So the mind goes at a very great speed, right? So one moment it must be like it's sufficient time, right? And then he just, huh?
I asked that
You
why
asked.
did he go there and wasted his time? I was thinking.
Yeah. So because, heavens are not, they're very opulent and too distractive. You would get distracted with all the opulence.
So he went with mind, right? He didn't physically go.
Well, the details are not given. It is said that he went there. But besides, even in the heavens, their bodies are also subtle only. Our bodies are gross bodies. But he went in the same body. But the details, I don't know. I never studied that or analyzed that, how he must have gone and come back in one moment. But the important point is, even one moment was sufficient. How exactly he did it? Uh, what came to my mind just now as I was reading is, with his mind he just focused. But your point is, why didn't he just do it then and there in that one moment? And uh, the only thing is that it's just, it's not a favorable place. The heavens are
Another thing, Mataji. One moment in heaven
heavens.
is different than one moment here in earth.
You're right, actually. You're right. Yeah.
So there, one moment they said. So once he came back, so he has little bit time. So he's coming and doing also.
Quite possible, because we hear similar thing about uh, Revati's father, Raivata. He went to Lord Brahma looking for a husband for his daughter, and then uh, he just went, and Lord Brahma said, he came back after one moment, it is said. Lord Brahma was talking to somebody, he was attending to someone, he came in one moment. But that one moment was so many generations that had passed on the earth. But this is Lord Brahma's planet. Lord Brahma's time is much longer than the demigod's time. So that also has to be remembered. So by the time he came back, he was looking for a husband for his daughter. Everyone that he was thinking was suitable to marry his daughter, they were all dead and gone. And their children, grandchildren were also dead and gone. So then at that time, Lord Balaram had come. Also, Lord Brahma had said, Lord Balaram. What about her? Well, she was also in Brahmaloka. That's what Mataji is saying, right? He is there in Swarga. So he is according to Swarga time now. So when they were there, they didn't become, old or anything, because they were in Brahmaloka. Like that. Besides, Revati is the internal potency. There's no question of becoming old. But the father.
We also hear the same thing of Brahma Leela, that when in one moment he comes back and it's 1 year.
1 year is fast. Correct. Like that. But here also the important point is he perfected his life in one moment. So it's not like he came and then he had 1 year's time. It's not said that. It said that he came and then he just focused his mind. So whatever that time is, but when he heard from the demigods, you have one moment. That is important. He didn't become like, oh, what can I do in one moment? My life is finished. No, one moment, just drop everything and, right? Ant bhala to sab bhala. Even one moment, in one moment you can, you know, you can perfect your life. If you become serious, if you become really serious, yes. There's one Prabhupada's quote also. I mean, from a lecture. One minute is sufficient. 1 minute is sufficient, or 1 moment is sufficient to become Krishna conscious, like that. So so that was Khatwanga Maharaj. We were reading about Khatwanga Maharaj. He was told, he asked, how much time do I have? You have one moment. Immediately he left his palace. That means he left his palace in the heavens and went to his own residence on the earth, and he engaged his mind fully on the lotus feet of the Lord. Maharaj Khatwanga thought, nothing is dear to me, my wife, my wealth, nothing. Then what is dear to me? The Brahmanas and Brahminical culture. Nothing is dearer than the Brahmanas to me and Brahminical culture. Like that. So then we'll start today's verse. Who's supposed to read today? I think we finished with Sonia Mataji. Did you read just your turn?
No, Mataji, I will read it.
You'll read now.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Na balyepi matirmahyam adharme ramate kvachit na pashyam uttama shlokan anyat kinchana vastvaham.
I was never attracted, even in my childhood, by insignificant things or irreligious principles. I did not find anything more substantial than the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So you see, Hare Krishna Maharaj, this Khatwanga Maharaj, again, right? He's saying right from his childhood, he was never interested in anything irreligious. He was always interested in the Supreme Lord. So the samskaras are there already. It's not like all of a sudden, But still, you have to become even more serious at the time of death. You have to become, because that's antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati sa madbhavam yati. Madbhavam yati. He will attain my nature. Yati nasti atra samshaya. Right. In this there is no doubt that anyone who in that final moment he remembers the Lord, he will attain the nature of the Lord. In this there is no doubt. Lord Krishna himself is assuring. So yes, like you prepare, just like you have an exam, a big exam, all year you may be preparing nicely, but still the final day, right, you become really focused, isn't it? No other distractions, complete focus, like that. So Khatwanga Maharaj, the point is, even from his childhood, I was never attracted, even in my childhood, by insignificant things or irreligious principles. I did not find anything more substantial than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this should tell us that he is, once when I was giving class in ISKCON Philadelphia, Bhagavatam class, Sonia Mataji had asked me, what was the destination of Khatwanga Maharaj? What type of destination did he get? So from this we can understand, here it is said that he didn't think anything is more important than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he must have either gone to Vaikuntha. Exact details I don't know, maybe we'll find out. But yeah. But he's a devotee.
The destination depends on what our desire is also, right? So if I desire for Vaikuntha, obviously I won't go to Goloka.
Goloka, right. Yes. Yes, ma'am. So let's continue reading. Next is Suvarnangi Mataji and Mataji will read purport.
Yes, Mataji. Maharaj Khatwanga provides a typical example of Krishna conscious person. A Krishna conscious person does not see anything to be important but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor does he accept anything within this material world as being unconnected to the Supreme Lord. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 8.274. Stavara Jangama Dekhe, Na Dekhe Thara Murti, Sarvatra Haya Nija Ishta Deva Spurti. The Maha Bhagavata, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything, mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their form. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees the form of Supreme Lord. Although a devotee is within the material world, he has no connection with it. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhi. He accepts this material world in the relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee may be engaged in earning money, but he uses that money for propagating the Krishna consciousness movement by constructing large temples and establishing worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Katvanga Maharaj, therefore, was not a materialist. A materialist is always attached to wife, children, home, property, and many other things for sense gratification. But as stated above, Katvanga Maharaj was not attached to such things, nor could he think of anything existing without the purpose of the Supreme Lord. Ishavasha idam sarvam. Everything is related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, this consciousness is not for the ordinary person, but if one takes to the path of devotional service, as prescribed in the Nectar of Devotion, he can be trained in this consciousness and attain perfect understanding. For a Krishna conscious person, nothing is palatable without a relationship with Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So from what do we understand about Khatvanga Maharaj? He was a devotee. How do we understand from his consciousness? What was his consciousness? He was never interested in anything insignificant. That means he saw all material things as insignificant, and he was not interested in irreligious principles. He didn't find any meaning to anything without the Supreme Lord. That means whatever he saw it in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is the sign of a Mahabhagavat. Sthavara Jangama dekhe, na dekhe Taramurti. Sthavara Jangama, right? Moving and non-moving things. When he sees, he doesn't see that form. Like if I see a chair, a Mahabhagavat won't see a chair. A Mahabhagavat will see Krishna. You understand? He doesn't see anything as separate from Krishna. He sees it in relation. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of when so what is required here? That love is required. Prabhupada gives this example, like for a mother or father, you see the small shoes of your child, and your child is not here, right? He's grown up and he's gone somewhere else now. But when you see those little shoes, immediately, your affection, those shoes, for you, they are not shoes. Those shoes are your baby for you, your child. Why? Because as soon as you see those shoes, you're not seeing those shoes, you're seeing your little child there. And all the things that happen related to that. This is the position of a pure devotee. How you can get this position that whatever you see, everything you see, you don't see that thing, because that thing is related to the Supreme Lord. So everything is reminding you of the Supreme Lord. So you are constantly thinking of the Supreme Lord. Everything and every person. Because you don't see anything as separate from the Supreme Lord. You see everything in connection to the Supreme Lord. So your attachment is to the Supreme Lord. Your attachment is to the Supreme Lord. This is a Mahabhagavat's position, by the way. His attachment is to the Supreme Lord. And whatever he sees in relation to his dear one. What is our condition? We have attachment in this world, and we are trying to develop or awaken our attachment to Krishna. Yes? We want to, by doing different types of devotional service, by chanting his names, by worshipping, right? We are trying to develop that attachment for Krishna. Mahabhagavat's position is, he has that attachment to Krishna. His mind is not distracted and deviated here and there. But for us, so that is why Srila Prabhupada is saying, this consciousness is not possible for everyone. So we have to act according to, that's what Bhagavatam says. Whatever is your level, there's a prescription, right? If you are in second grade, then this is the math that you will do in second grade, because your intellect can only take that much. If they gave you calculus in second grade, nothing will go into your head. But the same person who's doing second grade, step by step, if he does math, one day he can do calculus very nicely. But in second grade itself, he is thinking about calculus, he won't be able to do, because his brain is not developed, you understand. So, but it is good to know that in higher grades, you have something called calculus and all that. That's all. But how exactly to do that, you will know when you get there. So this is a Mahabhagavat. But if you try to imitate by hearing about Mahabhagavat, this is how Mahabhagavat feels and he does. And now, although I'm in second grade, I'm pretending like now I'm doing calculus. Like that. I'll be fooling myself and trying to fool others that I'm a Mahabhagavat now. I'm feeling like this. It's of no use. Right? It's of no use. You won't get anywhere. In Telugu they say పరిగెత్తి పాలు తాగే కంటే నిలబడి నీళ్ళు తాగడం మేలు. That means you try to drink milk by running. That won't even get to your body. It's better stand in one place and sit down and drink water. That will get, that will work on your body better than the milk that you drink by running. It won't help. Let me just finish this, I'll come. So like that. So don't try to do things which are beyond your capacity. That is why, like yesterday Saujanya Mataji was saying, Srila Prabhupada is so practical, right? It's not just about all the lofty topics and big things. No, he'll give us exactly what we can handle. That does not mean he knows only so much. This is other foolishness. Some people will say, this is for neophytes only. In this society, you have only this one. They don't know more than this. You want to know higher topics, then go to other organizations. They are more advanced and they will give you higher Siddha Pranali and this and that. So many things they will give you. Here, it's only for neophytes. Kali Yuga, everyone is a neophyte. Isn't it? This is for all people of Kali Yuga. Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hyupadritaha. So Srila Prabhupada gave the medicine that will work for everyone. Very, very practical. So you won't see Srila Prabhupada discussing big lofty topics. Why? Because we don't have that eligibility. We don't have that eligibility. But he doesn't also make us feel deprived like, oh, okay, forget it. No. Like here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying about Mahabhagavat. This is a Mahabhagavat. And also he warns us, don't try to imitate or anything. How to get there? That path also he is giving. See, this Mahabhagavat, advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. Although a devotee is within this world, so this is the Mahabhagavat, he is in this world, but he has no connection with it. He has no connection because he is not seeing the material world. He is only seeing Krishna. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha. He is seeing everything in relation to Krishna, like the shoes of that child. He is not seeing the shoes, he is seeing his child. Like that, this devotee, because of his love for Krishna, he is only seeing Krishna. Whatever he sees, he is only seeing Krishna. That's one. And the other thing is he sees that this thing actually loves Krishna so much. That's the other thing. So he accepts this material world in relationship to the Supreme Lord. Again, such a devotee, he may be engaged in earning money. This is the devotees, pure devotees. Externally, it looks like they're also doing work and all that. So he may be engaged in earning money, but he does not use that money for sense gratification. Then why he is earning money? To set an example, because all of us are attached to money. Okay, so this is how you earn money, right? By honest means. And after earning it, don't spend it for sense gratification. He's showing by example. He'll also work, he'll earn money, and he'll show us how to actually live, even at your level, how you can live the life of a devotee. He uses that money for propagating Krishna consciousness movement by constructing large temples, establishing worship of the Supreme Lord. This is a pure devotee we are talking about. So Khatwanga Maharaj was a pure devotee, isn't it? Because he was not interested in anything of this world. He was not connected with anything of this world. In contrast, if somebody is a materialist, he will be attached to his wife, to his children, to his home, to his property, to his name, fame, isn't it? But that's not Khatwanga Maharaj. He had no attachment for all these things. This tells us that he is a devotee. He is not a materialist. He couldn't think of anything existing without the purpose of the Supreme Lord. So That's a Mahabhagavat, isn't it? Okay. Everything is related to the Supreme Lord. This consciousness is not for ordinary person. So that's what I was trying to explain to you. This consciousness is not for ordinary person. So we have to be clear about where I am and what is the recommendation for me. So if one takes to the path of devotional service, then you can also get there. But there is a system. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, and one day you will be doing calculus. You go systematically, right? So now I'm an ordinary person. I also want to become a Mahabhagavat. You have to take to the path of devotional service. So you may say, okay, I'm already doing as it is prescribed in the nectar of devotion. What is that? Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadya navritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam. Or Mahajano Yena Gatasya Pantha. Follow in the footsteps of great Vaishnava devotees and get trained by them. Yes, then you will get success. Then you will also become a Mahabhagavat. You can be trained in this consciousness. Training means as soon as you say training, that means you need a teacher, isn't it? You need a trainer who will train you. So you have to surrender to someone, Mahajan, who's actually who has achieved success, following in his footsteps, practicing devotional service as prescribed in Nectar of Devotion under the guidance of an expert devotee, then you can also get perfect understanding. You can also become a Mahabhagavat. So, the conclusion is Khatwanga Maharaj is sure, thank you. So, is not a materialist. Okay, Aditi Lata Mataji.
First of all, I have to say, Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Mataji, so I was saying my experience, like every day after doing Bhagavatam class, we try to purify our consciousness and I leave for work. And I think at that time, I think, oh yes, everything is Krishna's energy. And the moment I will be in the traffic, someone is in front of me blocking my road, and I'm late for office, I'll think, oh my God, how bad that person is.
Right.
My
Yeah.
consciousness goes from Krishna consciousness to, Kali Yuga mentality immediately.
Yeah. But if you had not even done this and if you had gone, it would have been worse.
Definitely worse. Definitely. Most definitely. I try to, calm myself by thinking, oh, they're also, Krishna's part. They're also human, all those things. But at that moment, it is gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I was hearing to some lecture and I don't know where, but the preacher was saying that Krishna gives all these situations just to make us better and make us understand where we are standing. So which is so true for me, because the moment any situation comes, I'm gone.
Yeah. I mean, the situations will come, they will come, and plenty of them will come. And uh, again, we have to be careful when we say Krishna is giving them. Uh, we may not think that I don't deserve it, but Krishna is giving for me to teach me. So then that's also not right. So we are getting what we deserve. That's why knowing exactly which grade we are in, that's very good. That's very, realistic, being realistic. Because ye yathamam prapadyante, tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. Right? So Krishna's dealing is different with different grades of devotees also. Right? So until anartha nivritti has happened, and what to speak of those who have not even entered into pure devotional service, then it's our karma which is coming to us. It is our karma which is coming to us. Actually, before entering into pure devotional service, it's our karma. But after entering into pure devotional service, surrendering to the spiritual master, surrendering our life, then there may be some impressions that are still there. Not the karmic reactions by themselves, but there will be impressions which are still disturbing our bhakti. So, so in that case, when whatever is coming to us, it's our karma only coming. But somehow or other, we have still taken shelter of Krishna. So Krishna can use our karma to teach us a lesson. So on one hand, Krishna is giving it to us, but on the other hand, it's my own doing. It will come to me because, once you begin pure devotional service, the switch is turned off, but it doesn't stop immediately. It comes to a halt gradually. That means there is still, some momentum there. So our karma is also still coming back to us. But eventually it will come to a standstill, full stop. It will stop eventually. So after anartha nivritti, it's completely stopped. So why these things are coming? Because Krishna is giving us them to us. He can,
By Krishna means Krishna's material energy is also Krishna's energy.
Of course, that way, of course, yeah.
That way, yeah. I mean, Krishna definitely doesn't take. He's not like that. Of course, he's merciful.
Yeah. No, but in the case of pure devotees, he will do that also. He can purposely give some things like this. One Acharya explains about Bharat Maharaj. He was already in the stage of bhava, very advanced stage of bhakti, and he got this attraction to a deer. How do you explain? All karma is finished, so from where his past karma is waking up and he's getting attraction to a deer. How can you explain that? So one Acharya says that no, Krishna gave it to him on purpose. So for such devotees, Krishna can intervene and he can give. They don't have any karma or anything, but Krishna will give. Why? To learn a lesson means not exactly to learn a lesson, but to bring them to higher and higher levels of stages of prema. So, because when you lose something and when you find it, now you have more, attachment for that, right? You understand the value. So, like that, for some time you get a break from your bhakti, and then in that separation, you become so like the gopis, like feeling separation from Krishna. When it becomes so intense, that prema becomes so intense, and you'll be going to higher and higher stages of bhakti, prema. So, like that, Krishna can purposely give. But to whom he will do that? To those who are already pure devotees, very advanced devotees, he can do that. Who are completely surrendered to him, who are pure devotees already. To them, he can do that. But those who are who have not even entered into pure devotional service, that means not fulfilling the condition of pure devotional service yet, who have not fully surrendered, who didn't develop that full faith, then I sent one link yesterday, I think, in the group, Prabhupada's message. Krishna has nothing to do with non-devotees. So we are not non-devotees, but we are not pure devotees also. We are somewhere in between, right? So, but otherwise for non-devotees, he's got nothing to do. But when you actually enter into pure devotional service, then Krishna takes personal. Tesham satata yuktanam. When you say pure devotional service, that condition is there. Satata yuktanam. Then Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam. Then he will intervene. And then he takes over Arjun's control of Arjun's chariot, right? Like that he can take over the control of your life. Then he can give also. You don't deserve it, but still he can give something. Because you've already surrendered to Krishna. Now it doesn't matter to you. Whatever he does, you're surrendered. Mare Krishna rakhe Krishna mare ke. Whatever you want, you do. That's your position. When you are surrendered, and then he will take over. But now at this stage, when I'm not fully surrendered, I still have questions and doubts. Why like this? Why like that? Then if Krishna does something, you can become bitter. Oh, this is injustice, how Krishna did this to me. So therefore he doesn't interfere yet. Now, like Paramatma, right? Okay, this is the result for the activity that you've done, you'll get this result, like that. So At different levels, the dealing will be different. Okay.
Thank
Text.
you, Mataji.
Sure, thank you. Text 45. So, Swarnani Mataji read. So, Priyanka Haripriya Mataji. Devai Kamavaro Datto Mahyam Tribhuvaneshwaraihi Navrinetam Aham Kamam Bhuta Bhavana Bhavanaha.
The demigods, the directors of the three worlds, wanted to give me whatever benediction I desired. I did not want their benedictions. However, because I am interested in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who created everything in this material world, I am more interested in the Supreme Personality of Godhead than in all material benedictions.
Yes. So, this is Khatvanga Maharaj thinking. I don't see previous verse. I don't see anything has any value without the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means whatever I see, I'm seeing it in relation to the Supreme Lord. And if I cannot see any relation with the Supreme Lord, I'm not interested in that thing. So this is a great devotee. And the next verse he's saying that the demigods, the directors of the three worlds, wanted to give me whatever benediction I desired. Yes? They said, ask for a benediction. I did not want their benedictions. However, because I'm interested in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who created everything in this material world, I am more interested in the Supreme Personality of Godhead than in all material benedictions. Yes, so because he's a devotee, he's not a materialist. He's not interested in any material benediction. Therefore, he didn't ask the demigods for anything material. Purport, after this purport, we will end the class. Saujanya Mataji.
Mataji, you want me to read the entire purport?
It's up to you. If you want to read, you can read. If you don't want to read, then the next person can pick up.
I'm fine, Mataji. Just
Go
ask
ahead.
the first
Yeah, just
stanza.
read. Yeah.
A devotee is always transcendentally situated. Param drishtva nivartate. One who has seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead is no longer interested in material sense enjoyment. Even such an exalted devotee as Dhruva Maharaj went to the forest for the sake of material benefit. But when he actually saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he refused to ask. He refused to
Accept.
accept any material benediction. He said, "Swamin krit,
Swamin kritarthosmi varam na yache.
Swamin kritarthatis smivaran nayache." My dear Lord, I am fully satisfied with whatever you have given me or not given me. I have nothing to ask from you, for I am fully satisfied to be engaged in your service. This is the mentality of a pure devotee who does not want anything material or spiritual from the personality of Godhead. Our Krishna consciousness movement is therefore called Krishna Krishna Bhavanamrita Sangha, the association of persons who are simply satisfied in thoughts of Krishna. Being absorbed in thoughts of Krishna is neither expensive nor troublesome. Krishna says, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, offer obeisances and worship me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, 34 verse. Anyone can always think of Krishna without difficulties or obstacles. This is called Krishna Bhavanmat,
Bhavanamrita.
Bhavanamrita. One who is absorbed in Krishna Bhavanamrita has no material benefits to ask from Krishna. Instead, such a person prays Lord for the benediction of being able to spread his glories all over the world. Mama Janmani,
Mama
Janma,
Janmani Janmanishware.
Mama Janmani Janmaneshware, Bhavatat Bhaktir Ahaitek Ahaikrit
Ahaituki.
Ahetuki Tvai. Sorry, Mataji. A Krishna conscious person does not even want to stop his cycle of birth and death. He simply prays, I may take birth as you like, but my only prayer is that I may be engaged in your service. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna. So there are three types of desires. One is material desire, second one is desire for liberation, and third one is desire for devotional service. A pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada is saying Krishna conscious person, Krishna Bhavanamrita, right? He has nothing to ask from Krishna, not any material benediction, right? Material benedictions. For those who are materialistic, there's no end to the list of material benedictions they can ask. There's no end, unlimited. But for a Krishna conscious person, he doesn't have anything to ask from Krishna. No material benediction. He doesn't even ask liberation. That is why Srila Prabhupada is quoting from Shikshashtakam. Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhaktira Haitukitvai. Life after life. That means I don't even want liberation. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying. Life after life. I'll take birth again and again and again. Forever I can take birth. But I have only one desire. Give me ahaituki bhakti. Ahaituki means what? Hetu means there is some cause, right? You're doing bhakti because you want something from that bhakti. I want this, I want that. He doesn't even ask for spiritual benedictions. Pay attention. Not even spiritual benedictions. He's not asking anything. Not material, not spiritual. Then what does he want? He wants to spread the glories of the Lord. For the Lord's service, for his service, not for myself. For himself, he has nothing to ask. For oneself, he has nothing to ask. For the Lord's sake, yes, please give me. And either for oneself or for others also he can pray. My Lord, please, this devotee is trying to spread Krishna consciousness. Please empower this devotee, because many devotees can be can come to your shelter. They can be benefited. So please empower. They can pray like that, or they can pray for themselves. I'm trying to do some service. I'm trying to distribute some books. My Lord, please help me. Like that. That type of prayer a devotee will ask, but not for any other. Give me liberation. Mataji, Hare Krishna. Welcome.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I want to say for that word, devotee asks something,
Yeah.
I was praying till 6 o'clock, 6:30. I was sitting. I took my shower and everything. I sat. I couldn't turn on my iPad. It says, update your password. I was going here and there. I don't know my iPad password either. My son controls everything. I called my daughter. She just came down. She just came downstairs. I said, what is this going on? I cannot turn on my iPad. I waited till now and she came and I asked her. Just now she updated. I don't know what to do, and he controls from there. Whether I should update or not, whether that is correct or not, I don't know anything. I just turn on the Zoom and I go to the class. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
That Zoom like that, I come to the class and I enjoy. And just now, I am just praying God, I don't know what to do. Until she came downstairs, I couldn't turn on my computer, my iPad.
But
that is Krishna's mercy, Mataji. That's how it happens. I'm here, but I cannot. Huh?
I have bad news though.
Oh, what? What, Mataji?
I was not aware of your time change, daylight savings time change.
I didn't even mind that too.
I started the class 1 hour early.
But I would have, see what happened today. I don't know. I forgot about the time change or anything. I'm just casual. I went and took my shower and I came and sat like 6:15. I'm sitting here. I cannot sign on my iPad. I said, oh, my class will be over, and then I had to jump into other class and I go to that class. So what can I do? This is what happened to me today.
But at least you have other class to jump into, so you'll be busy.
No, I want to listen to this one too. I want to be both.
Yeah.
Too much I want to. But God says, no, don't go too far, too much. Get what you get. Anyway, so when just exactly you're saying that, ask this, not liberation, ask these things and everything like that. I said, that's what I'm asking. When I go through this only, I can get the liberation. When I go to the step by step up only, then I will get the liberation. Otherwise, I won't get. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mataji. No, don't be sorry. Hare Krishna.
I want to tell my story today, what happened to me.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So this is about Khatwanga Maharaj. He doesn't have any material desires. So on that, Srila Prabhupada is elaborating that a devotee is no longer interested. So yeah, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopiyasya param drishtva nivartate. So when he gets a higher taste, when he experiences the Supreme Lord, then for him the lower things are of no interest, no significance. He is no longer interested in material sense gratification. So Prabhupada is giving the example of Dhruva Maharaj, right? He wanted a kingdom, big kingdom, better than his father's, and for that he approached the Supreme Lord. And while doing bhakti, he actually got the higher taste, right? He got param drishtva nivartate. So after experiencing Krishna, now this material benediction looked so insignificant. So when the Lord said, ask for a benediction, I want to give you Swamin Kritarthosmi, Varam Nayache. I want to ask you anything. I'm already completely satisfied. Right? I don't want to ask for anything. There is no desires left. I'm fully satisfied. Like that. So this is the state of a pure devotee. So from Khatwanga Maharaj's consciousness, we can understand that he was a pure devotee. He didn't have anything to ask from the demigods. Even though the demigods gave him a benediction, look at the translation. They wanted to give some benediction, but I didn't want their benedictions. He didn't want. So this shows that he's a pure devotee. He was only interested in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. I'm more interested in the Supreme Lord than in all material benedictions. That's what he's thinking. So Srila Prabhupada is elaborating on that point. Right? Our Krishna consciousness movement is called Krishna Bhavanamrita Sangha. That means Sangha is association of people who have this Krishna Bhavanamrita. Right? Association of persons who are simply satisfied with thoughts of Krishna. They don't want anything else. That's the purpose of this Krishna consciousness movement. Provide association for people who don't want any material benedictions. They only want to have thoughts of Krishna 24 hours. Such people coming together, that is the Krishna consciousness movement. That's the vision for the Krishna consciousness movement, or that's the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru. Right? Anyone can always think of Krishna without difficulties or obstacles. This is called Krishna Bhavanamrita. One who is absorbed in Krishna Bhavanamrita has no material benefits to ask from Krishna. So that is, so we have to gradually remove the material desires and fill it up with Krishna Bhavanamrita. Like that. So he will only pray. So he can pray for, how can I spread your glories? That he can pray. And I don't mind even taking birth again and again in this world. I don't mind. But please help me to spread your glories. He will pray. Other than that, for material benedictions, for liberation, he won't pray to the Lord. So we will stop there. We are not going to read Bhagavad Gita or Lilamrita also because I have to go and cook. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Krishna Mataji. So I missed everything.
Thank you, Mataji.
The recording is there.
Yeah. I could go into YouTube also because I had to sign in first.
That's
iCloud. I don't know. Anyway, got into that. Krishna's mercy. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare